back to Deer Corner. Getting my walk in today. Warmed up real quick. About 83 degrees and warm and getting hotter. And today, my walk, I've been walking and checking my oak trees out. And this is the time of year deer hunters need to get out and look at their oak trees, white oaks and red oaks. And I'll put a little bit of something together to kind of help you tell them apart for some of you that haven't. Now my red oak, kind of look at my oak trees like mountain ranges. And the red oak, its bark, it's more spread out basically. It's got gorges down through here, just like a mountain range. It comes up to peaks. And that's the way I look at my oak trees, my bark, and telling them apart by using a mountain range. And the leaves on it, and the leaves on a red oak come out to the end of it comes out to 3 points on a red oak, and the bottom side too, you can see the 3 points. So it's easy to tell the leaf, but when the leaves are off the tree and you're looking at the bark, it gets kind of difficult to tell your whites from your reds. But if you take it and you look at it as a mountain range and your barks come to a peak and your bark is more spread out, it's more open. Now your white oak, still look at it like the mountains, but you have a lot tighter grain. Bark's a lot tighter. And it has smaller hills and valleys. And where your bark, like a mountain, comes to a peak, it has flat ranges. It's flat on top. It don't come out to a point. And sometimes it's kind of difficult to tell them apart, but if you use that on your mountain range and your valleys are tighter, and the bark, it comes out as flat plateaus. They don't come to a point on white oak. And also on your leaves, they're rounded. Your leaves are rounded on the ends. They don't come to a point. So that's kind of the difference between a white oak and a red oak and how I tell them apart. The end of July, 1st of August, your acorns should be about the size of your little finger, tip of your little finger by now. And we got out and looked at about 17 acres of acorns, oak trees. Got thunder in the background, storm coming in. And we didn't like what we found. And I'll show some of that. Yeah. This doesn't look good. By now them acorns should be about the size of your little finger. Coming to the end of July. Go back. Let's go look at another tree. The same over here on this tree. Not in this tree either. Looked at several trees throughout this property and no acorns. All holes. Repeat of last year. But getting out and scouting this time of year, especially your oak trees. And last year we had a very, very bad acorn crop. A lot of deer did not adventure up and into the acorn area, the hardwoods I call it, your red oaks and your white oaks. Deer didn't adventure up into it. And actually, if you don't get out and do your scouting early enough, like this time of year, you can come into deer season and sit in your favorite white oak stand and not see any deer. There's no acorns. Now it don't take deer very long. They'd adventure into the oak trees and not find any acorns. Once or twice, but then they won't come back. But if there is a good acorn crop, they'll keep coming back till they're gone. And that's usually a good time of hunting them, is late fall, early winter, right at the beginning of deer season. But this year, same thing as last year, we walked about 17 acres and checked the oak trees out, and we're not going to have an acorn crop. So this time of year I found that out. So I'm not going to go waste my time sitting in a stand in that area. I'll find a stand or hunt a stand on the outside of that area. But acorns is a good supplement. It's a good supplement for deer this time of year. And they kind of depend on it. So, also on that note, we have to go ahead and start figuring out other supplements for the deer, such as our fall food plots. And we work that accordingly. If the food plot that we have up here in the acorn area, we'll let it go if we got good acorns. We're not going to direct the deer to that food plot. We want to keep them in the trees. But the way it looks this year, we're going to have to go ahead and plant a fall food plot to move the deer, keep them in that area, but that moves the deer to that food plot. So this time of year is the year you figure out your strategy for the beginning of hunting season. So, like I say, thanks for coming along. Go ahead, hit the thumbs up, leave me a comment, and I'll bring you back a little bit more at a time. A few tricks, a few tips, and like I always say, if you're hunting or you're in the woods, you're hiking in the woods, be safe. I'd rather be safe than sorry. And you all have a good day.